All right, so the last thing that kind of puts us on the same place as everything learned in the last videos is setting up some kind of a UI, like a button to trigger something. And you learned all that with Playmaker, so I went ahead and installed Playmaker, and you can refer to those videos if you need to. But to make it work as far as using VR and the VR toolkit, we have some setup to do. So I'm going to go ahead and add a UI, and it's a canvas, right? So that's kind of the thing that holds that. Now, you're going to need to do some things. So we're going to set the render mode to world space. That'll kind of bring up this camera, and it's like, oh no, where's the camera? Well, our camera is inside of our rig here, so we can find that and drag that into there. Then we have to add one more component here. We have this graphic raycaster, but we need a special new one, which is a tracked device graphic raycaster, right? So we'll put that in, and that's it. We don't need to do anything else to that. Now, when you put a canvas in, right, it gives you this event system. And so over here, we have to take off this standalone input module. So I'll just go ahead and remove that. And instead, we are going to look for the XRUI input module, put that in there, and that's it for there. So now we can go back to our canvas and kind of think about, right, the size. So it's a little too giant right now. I'm just going to put it at a width of, right, 2 meters by 1 meter. And as far as the position goes, well, geez, I want it to be close to I think my thing is right in the middle there. So here it is right here. So I'm going to bring it over here and maybe bring it up here. And here we see it right there, right? And so now I'm going to go ahead and put a button in this. So I'm going to make a child of the canvas, UI, and we're going to make a button, right? You could do anything you want, but this is, just to put something in. But just like everything we learned in the Playmaker one about the UI panel and bringing things up, you can absolutely do that. So it made this giant button here, and let's bring this down to a normal size, right? Whoops. And so we see it's facing away from us, but that's okay. Right, because if we went around, and we might have to put billboarding on it and stuff like that. But for right now, we're just going to have a button so that we can do something. Which maybe I'll point it at my camera start. So let's go take our canvas and actually, kind of turn it so that it's facing our camera when we start our scene, so we can actually do something. And what do I want to do? Just like in Playmaker, right? So I select my button, and I'll go ahead and add a finite state, and I'm going to add a transition. I'm going to go to UI events, and I'll say UI click. So now, right, it'll be listening for my raycaster to click on that button. And so we need a new state. And so I will add something like set a material color, right? And let's make my sphere, change colors when on click. So I'll grab my sphere. Let me hit escape there. Button. I have to change from use owner to specify game object, and now I can drag my sphere in. And the color, I'll just set it. It's green now, so I'll make it red. Right? And so now if one last thing, I gotta do that, right? So when the clip comes on. So now I could build and run my scene, and when I use my laser pointer, my raycaster, to click the button with the trigger button, right? It'll turn white. It'll turn our sphere red, right? So everything you learned in Playmaker is available for this whole system here, right? It all kind of works together as long as you set up your canvas and event things. I'm sure there'll be stuff that may, with everything, there's always going to be little things if there's issues, but that's all we need for right now. And you have the ability to interact and click a UI panel and bring up a video or more information, some annotated thing. And that's pretty much everything we need to know about kind of all the basics to getting an XR project going, VR XR project, because the XR template will actually do augmented reality as well, but we're not going to explore Unity for augmented reality. But that's everything for this video series.